Hello everyone, this is Mike Mullis from the original Next Level Gaming, coming at you with another video game review. Today we're covering one of the big holiday releases for 2015, Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix's Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now everyone knows the story of how this game came about. Microsoft is publishing this game right now, and it's going to come out for other platforms mid to late next year. But for right now, it is an Xbox One exclusive, and it's out right now. Rise of the Tomb Raider is the sequel to the 2013 reboot of the Tomb Raider franchise that came out from Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix. Many of the gameplay elements were also carried over from the 2013 reboot, giving you a combination of exploration, gunplay, melee fighting, and adds back in the one thing that was missing, kind of, from a Tomb Raider game, raiding tombs. So before we talk about the gameplay and the graphics and such, let's talk about the story. Now this is a continuation of Lara Croft's adventure, where in the first game, while she was out for adventure and treasure, she had to learn very quickly how to grow up and survive. You could say that experience sort of hardened her into the woman that she becomes in this game. And she has to take these skills that she's learned and kind of put them to the test in ways she's not even ready for, but has to do. So in this game, she encounters an immortal, and she spends the next year kind of researching that immortal life to try to figure out what it is she saw and prove it. So this leads her on a quest to find the Kitse, a mythical city founded in Russian Siberian tundra. And of course, just like in the last game, once she gets there and begins on her mission, then she gets embroiled in a fight for her life against an organization that's also looking for the same thing she is. Sound a little Raiders of the Lost Ark familiar? And comes across a group of people who are fighting to protect it. And of course, she's right in the middle of all of that. So the one thing that I have come to realize is that this should be a Game of the Year candidate. And the fact that it isn't, for some reason, astounds me. It's beautiful, and we're going to talk about that a little more in a moment. It's long. The game is about 3 times the size of the last Tomb Raider that came out in 2013. In fact, the game is so big that there are parts of levels that are as big as the entire levels of the last game. And I'll give you an example. Part of you going through the Siberian tundra, as they say, is coming across an old Soviet installation. Now, of course, you're going to have to battle your way through it, and just like in the last game, there are all kinds of places to run and jump and slide and use your axe and use your arrows and things like that. But there's an area in that installation that's somewhat like a little camp. That camp is as big as one of the previous entire regions in the last game, and that's not all of them. So the game is absolutely huge. And the maps are just unbelievably large, and as you open up your base camps, which you of course find throughout the game, you can fast travel between them, and you come to find out there are a lot more base camps in this game than there were in the last. The size of the maps and the size of the regions open you up to a ton of exploration, and that is what makes the game take so long to finish if you really want to go through it correctly. Yes, you can blow through the story, and after a while, I ended up having to focus on the story merely because I was doing so much exploration and having to go through so much of the map to find things such as documents and relics and all the stuff that you could find before, that I was spending more time doing that than actually on the story. You can spend entire days just trying to find caves and tombs and finding documents and all those collectibles that, by the way, you will get achievements for if you can find them all. Or at least, most notably, the reintroduction of the tombs adds for a brand new experience for younger players. Now for me, I'm a 20-year Tomb Raider guy. I've been playing this game, this franchise, since the old days of the PC and the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast and the original PlayStation. So I'm used to a game that has tombs and puzzles as part of getting through the game. This is a little different because there's a story that kind of goes beyond just her running around trying to find ancient artifacts. So the tombs become optional for the game. However, you want to find them because inside are some of the things you need to get your achievements and to get all the gamer score out of it. Not to mention, those tombs bring back a lot of the puzzles and the traversing that you miss out of the series. Now, of course, just like the last game, there's a lot of melee and weaponry for you to find as well and to use. You will get into gunfights. You will have to use your bow and arrow to shoot people. And, just like before, you can sneak up on them and stealth kill them. Now, at your base camps, you can obviously upgrade your weapons, you can add new equipment. This time, you can also find a shack where you can purchase those things as well. And there are ancillary missions around these various areas. Allies will be posted around that can give you little side quests, which will give you new things. It could be outfits, it could be, say, a silencer for your rifles, things like that. You're a bit more stealthy in this game, too. You can be. So you can hide from people. You can also hide from animals in bushes and things like that. Kind of like Assassin's Creed and Shadow of Mordor, stuff like that. You can also hide under the water. Now, you saw that you could swim, but you can also duck under the water. Somebody comes by and you can do a takedown on them. That's pretty cool. And, of course, all the leveling up that you can do in the game, finding stuff along the way, boxes of parts and things that can upgrade your weapons, but you can also, like before, upgrade your skill set to make it easier to kill, to make it easier to forage, to make it easier to survive in the wilderness, make it easier to do some of the things that you need to do to finish the game. Alright, let's move to aesthetics, graphics and sound. This is, for me, one of the most beautiful games that's on the Xbox One. It is actually one of the more beautiful games I've seen on a console yet. Crystal Dynamics has done an absolutely masterful job of bringing this new game to the next generation. Now, yes, there is an Xbox 360 version, but you can see by the way that the game looks that a lot of the lighting and a lot of the backgrounds and a lot of the texturing on the Xbox One version is just unbelievable. Her facial expressions, her movements. If you go into tombs, if you go into caves and she lights up her little glow stick, just some of the lighting that's inside and some of the things that are going on in the background that, you know, like this scene here where Lara has to run from a helicopter that's shooting her, and all around her the environment is just blowing up. It's just such an absolutely phenomenal looking game, and my hat's off to Crystal Dynamics for being able to put this together. And of course, a lot of those effects that you saw in the last gen, the things that they talk about on PC, like Tress FX for hair, things like that are back and updated as well. And a lot of the little things in the background, sliding rocks, blowing up explosions and fire and all that kind of stuff. Just the water as well. The water effects are just unbelievable. Here's the bottom line, folks. This is a must-have game if you're an Xbox One owner. It's a must-have game if you are just a gamer. This is a game that you go out and get a console for. It's got everything. It has beautiful gameplay. It has gorgeous graphics. It's long. It will take you a while to play. And it's just downright fun. The story is pretty good. It doesn't capture you as much as other stories do, but once you put it all together, this is just a must-own package. So if you haven't already gone out and gotten Rise of the Tomb Raider, I strongly suggest it. I think you will love it, and I think that you will understand what I'm talking about once you play it yourself. Well, that's going to do it for another video game review from the original Next Level Gaming. I hope that you enjoyed this look at Rise of the Tomb Raider. As always, please use our comment section below. Let us know, did you get the game? Did you not get the game? How come you didn't get the game? Did you get the game and like it? Did you get the game and not like it? Let us know. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's clicking that little subscribe button below. And pass the word on to a friend. If you like what we're doing, have them subscribe too and check us out. The more subscriptions that we have, the more of these we can do for you. And of course, follow us on Twitch at OG_NL Gaming and on Twitter at OG_NL Gaming, where we bring you the best news from all around the gaming industry. Our podcasts are typically Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. with myself and John Place, the Techno Fabulous, so check those out as well. So once again, for the original Next Level Gaming, I am Mike Mullis. This has been Rise of the Tomb Raider for the Xbox One. And as always, my friends, play on, gamers.